The much anticipated rematch between Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland is official for UFC 312. Following this on the broadcast announcement during UFC 310 last weekend, many people were speculating that Khamzat Chimaev was going to skip over Strickland for the title shot, but here we have it. DDP versus Strickland is announced. Today we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to talk about these guys crashing out on Twitter. As you can see here, it's getting a little crazy. We're going to talk about UFC 312, the middleweight division, and catch up on the new announcement for UFC 312 because it's a sick card. So stick around to hear my thoughts. I'm Wyatt. This is Fight Society. Before we get into the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. If you want access to extra content, bonus content, stuff like that, become a channel member down below. There's a link in the description or the join button on our channel homepage. Alrighty, and so during the UFC 310 broadcast this past weekend, they gave us the official announcement for UFC 312, which will be taking place in Australia in February. Main event is going to be Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, a rematch from their fight of from January of 2024 at UFC 297, where Sean Strickland lost his belt to Dricus Du Plessis by split decision. Many people called it a robbery, but that was in our Strickland glazing days, if you guys remember how the MMA community was about Strickland when he first got the belt. But to me, I thought DDP won the fight, and now here we are running it back. Since then, Sean Strickland went on to beat Paulo Costa by decision at UFC 302, which was the Islam Makhachev-Dustin Poirier card, and Dricus Du Plessis went on to defend his belt in the UFC 305 main event against Israel Adesanya, which was actually an Australia card as well. So Dricus's last two fights have been in Australia. Other fights that were announced for the card: Weili Zhang versus Tatiana Suarez for the women's strawweight title. Tatiana Suarez was supposed to fight Verna Jandiroba this past weekend at UFC 310. Somebody pulled out with an injury. Tatiana Suarez gets a title shot. We also have Justin Tafa against a Contender Series heavyweight. Anshul Jabli against another Contender Series guy, Ray Saruya, who's a really good up-and-coming Japanese prospect. And then we also have the return of Jimmy Crute against Marcin Prachnio. And that's a good comeback fight for Jimmy Crute. He's been out for over a year. He actually almost quit MMA at one point. But aside from the UFC 310 card, we have the UFC middleweight, the top three UFC middleweights right now. Dricus Du Plessis, who's the champion, Sean Strickland, who's the #1 contender who will be fighting him at UFC 312, and Khamzat Chimaev. They're all beefing on Twitter. So first off, we got Dricus Du Plessis said this time they won't call it a robbery. They'll call it an attempted murder. And then Dricus says, just for clarification, I preferred the Khamzat fight, but the rematch is a fight most wanted before Khamzat versus Whitaker. I'm not unhappy with the UFC's decision. Like I said, I'll fight the man fans think is the next best guy. He was promised the fight, so Strickland it is. And then a fan down below said literally nobody thought Strickland was the next best guy. And DDP says, I have to agree with you on that one. Oh, here's another funny one too. Someone said Khamzat will destroy you all, and DDP said he can't even beat his own immune system. And then Khamzat jumped in, mostly firing at Sean Strickland. He said, it's okay, bro. Say sorry. Good luck with his fighting style. Is Diddy your dad? Who is this G? I mean, yeah, he's talking about Strickland potentially being. And Sean Strickland responds by saying, I love how the world just overlooks this guy's past. Builds a life in Sweden, goes and becomes best friends with an absolute monster who pretty much bought him like a WHORE. That's referring to Ramzan Kadyrov, who is a Chechnyan dictator that Khamzat has been around a lot. It says, then when the leash got too tight, he fled to the Middle East. You should not be allowed in this country. You sold your soul to a terrorist dictator. You are not compatible with America. Thank God we don't do drone strikes on that part of the sand pit. Sick of the UFC forgetting it's an American company. LMAO. Now buy a crypto scam with my name on it. I did a video about that too. Khamzat did like a wolf coin or like a boar's coin or something like that. That was just an absolute pump and dump rug pull scam. That's what we have with the UFC middleweight division. And for this fight, like I always do, I'll do a breakdown and prediction during fight week. But personally, I think DDP is going to make the gap even bigger in this fight. I think that they both have a weird style to prepare for. And now that they're both really familiar with it, and we know that Dricus is the stronger man, we know that Dricus can mix it up better than Sean Strickland, I think DDP gets it done again. I think he might even finish Sean Strickland this time. I think that if anything, like worst case scenario for DDP, I think the worst that happens is that he wins a decision. But I genuinely think he's going to dominate Sean Strickland in this fight. And he started pulling away from Sean Strickland as the fight went on, except for round 5 was very close. I'm going to take DDP as my very early prediction, and I'm actually going to take Weili to defend against Tatiana Suarez in the co-main event. But I'm really excited, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Should Khamzat have gotten this fight over Sean Strickland, or are you cool with this matchup? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want access to bonus content, become a channel member today by clicking the join button on our channel homepage or the link down below this video. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo, in the link down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.